I believe this is why we're having this discussion. I'm learning a lot from you and what people like you are doing, building a
Okay.
community for treasure.
The average accounting team has 20 to 40 people in the team. They're way bigger, they're less personal. A treasury team gets personal more quickly. We feel related to each other. And I think that's why this community is strong.
I've worked in different finance in my 15-year career, and I haven't seen this type of community anywhere.
I do see still an opportunity for the juniors to step up faster and earlier.
So if I'm a junior analyst and I want to reach out to you with something that I need your help in, what's the quickest way? What's the right way to structure my message? And I think I believe this is why we're having this discussion, because I'm very blessed and fortunate to say that I'm learning a lot from you, and what I'm doing now is uh, partially happening because of what you and people like you are doing, building a
Okay.
community for treasures, which is for me is a very noble thing. I remember the first time that we had a discussion together, I felt, oh my God, this is like copy paste me living in Europe, thinking the same way. Obviously, you're way ahead of me in terms of building the community. I know the community that you have is very, very strong, um, which very much inspired me in continue doing what I'm doing with Mia Treasures. So maybe as a start, um, I would like to get an understanding deeper on how this started as Treasury Mastermind. Where did the idea come from? And as we are going through that, we can maybe go through your past experience. Uh, where did you start with the Treasury, and why was Treasury what's the right career and decision for you?
hmm hmm Yeah, we can do that. Perfect.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Let's start answering. So, yes, Treasury Masterminds. Um, Let me start with. It started as a hobby. It started with an idea, crazy idea on there is no real online treasury community, and treasurers are. I don't want to say weird. We are unique. We are niche within finance. We are small teams within finance. We love to meet each other. We go to conferences like ACT. We go to Eurofinance. We go to AFP. And we meet and we come back energized because we talk to each other. We share ideas. We meet people who think alike. And we love that because sometimes even within our own companies, even talking to finance people, accountants, controllers, FP&A people, they don't always think like a treasurer. They have slightly different mindsets. Treasurers think like cash flows and risks, where controllers and accountants think in EBITDA and GL accounts, which is not the same thing. So we feel misaligned. And going to conferences, we always love talking to each other, sharing war stories, etc. But those conferences, it's maybe 2, 3, 4 times a year if you're lucky on going to them, because these also cost money. And to be honest, often it's good towards the more senior people, the directors, the managers, where I see a vision where I think the juniors should be going more to treasury conferences because they have a higher learning curve. They don't have the network yet. They might benefit more from it. So maybe we need conferences where both the juniors go and the seniors as well. But of course, that's a money question. But then it remains only 3 or 4 times a year, a real conference. My vision was we need an online community where everybody can meet each other, talk to each other, share stories, just put messages in, meet other people who are also treasurers or in the treasury field on a daily basis, online in a community. So it started out as a hobby. I bought a WordPress template for an online forum and launched that. Let's see how it goes. To be honest, the forum, it's not very active. It's too open. People are not very inclined to go on a public forum, and share their stories there with their name out there. But masterminds quickly evaluated uh, into a knowledge sharing thing. I started writing articles. I already did that before, but with a wider community, a bigger reach, I started to write more. Then the magic happened. Treasurers reached out to me and said, I love this idea of an online community. It's not there yet. How can I help, Patrick? And I was surprised. I was like, oh, yes, of course, I can ask for help when there are people out there like me who share this vision. Okay, let's start working together. And this hobby slowly turned into something real. More and more hours went to it because passion project, I loved it. Let's do it. So 4, 5, 6 months in, I suddenly had 5 to 10 people. I call them board members who help me out, who also write content, who also want to share stories. And of course, that all has to be managed. They have a day-to-day job as a head of Treasury. I have now 23 board members 2 years later from all the continents. Why from all the continents? Because I want this global reach. We don't have only treasury issues in Europe, in the big treasury centers. We also have treasury issues in Argentina, in Nigeria, in Singapore. Okay, Singapore is a treasury center, but in every country which has money flows has treasurers. Everybody's welcome. Now, 2 years in, we onboarded partners as well, because the treasury vendors, the TMS vendors, the FX vendors, the investment portals, everybody who sells to treasurers. Of course, they sell to treasurers, yes, but they also have their stories to tell. They also produce content which is relevant to the treasury community. I also started sharing their content, and people started to pick it up. People liked it. Now, 2 years in, we are bigger. We reach 30, 40,000 people a month via Treasury Masterminds, which I love. To be honest, there's still room for growth because I feel we are sending a lot of information. We're getting a bit of feedback back via comments on articles, via private messages, and the likes and engagement. But I would love to see even more engagement where we start working on working groups, smaller regional get-togethers, all online. It doesn't have to be necessarily on site. We're all busy. It can be easy to fit in if we go online. So next year will be really fun. We're working on a new online community, which is gated, access only. It will be fully moderated. So it's a safe place for treasurers to meet, to talk to each other, to network, and to share information with each other. That's the real vision of Treasury Masterminds. Started out as a hobby. We're here to stay. We're a real community with, we reach 30, 40,000 people a month. So we're definitely here to stay. People appreciated it. Still a hobby. It should never turn into a business model, and it will never be. But we have big plans for next year, and the community will be even bigger. I hope to go to 100,000 plus people, where we really reach the global treasury community.
I love that. And one thing that you mentioned, where you started the community, you found a lot of people trying to come in and see how they can help. This is something that I've also noticed once I started Mia Treasures. A lot of people reached out to me and say, how can we help? What you're doing is really great. It's really helping a lot of treasurers, and we want to help. And was purely out of just wanting to support and help. There is no payback to them in any way, just helping treasurers. And this is something, to be honest, I haven't seen. So I've worked in different finance functions in my 15-year career. And I haven't seen this type of community anywhere. Only in Treasury where I have seen that. I mean, you were one of the people who reached out to me when I started Mia Treasures and say, Kortam, how can we help? I think what you're really doing. You were one of the first people who reached out to me, to be honest. That's really amazing. And I still try to understand where this coming from. Is it because we're still immature or small? I don't want to say immature, but small community. So the smaller, the easier we get to connect. Or are there other reasons that you personally believe are driving this?
Yeah, that could be the reason. I don't have the answer. I can only give you my opinion here. Uh, um, I think it has to do because we are niche and we are smaller. The average treasury team I'm talking to in my normal life, I'm a treasury consultant, so I talk to a lot of treasuries. The average treasury has between 2 and 5 people in the team. The average accounting team has 20 to 40 people in the team controlling the same. They're way bigger, they're less personal. A treasury team gets personal more quickly. It's a small team. We have to do this together, guys. We have to work together to achieve our goals. And at the same time, these 2 to 4 people, they are responsible for the whole balance sheet, for the whole cash, sometimes the refinancing of the company, which involves billions. Um, Astonishing, right? That we manage the full balance sheet. We're responsible for the cash. We do that with 2 to 4 people. That's amazing, right? So we are a bit quirky as well. We talk about derivatives, FX, forwards, futures, the difficult stuff. Hard for me to see it as difficult. I've always been in treasury. I know that stuff. I love that stuff, but I understand that even an accountant is struggling with it. So within the treasury, if you find another treasurer, we're like, hey, treasurer, I know how you feel. Let's help each. How can I help? How can I help you? Let's help each other out. We feel related to each other. We feel really relatable to each other, and I think that's why this community is strong and willing to help each other. Yeah, it's my
Yeah,
opinion.
yeah, I can't agree more. I think that's one of the main drivers, 100%. One other thing you mentioned was the events and the importance of networking. And I was fortunate to attend the last Eurofinance event in Budapest and finally meet you. We've been friends for so long now, and it was the first time that I meet you and meet the rest of the team of Masterminds, which was really great to catch up.
Agree.
On that note, how important is it networking for treasurers? For me, I think it's very important, regardless if you're a junior or a senior treasurer. Maybe it becomes a bit more important for seniors, but let's speak generally. How important is it for a treasurer networking and attending events and having proper connections in the
Mhm.
treasury to excel in your career?
I think you should start as a junior. Immediately link with people, follow them, read their stories. You can only learn from them. Um, and that's the sending and receiving part, which I described. Um, I do see still an opportunity for the juniors to step up faster and earlier because they think I'm the junior, I have no story to tell. You definitely have a story to tell. You're a different person. I'm 43 years old now. I have 15, 20 years of experience in Treasury, considered a senior. Um, but somebody who joins Treasury now with 1, 2, 3, 4 years of experience, they are different Treasury junior than I was a Treasury junior 20 years ago. So you have a different story to tell me, and I can learn from you. The tax savviness is way higher of the juniors. They have different view of the world than I did 20 years ago when I was a junior. So start connecting, start reading stories, but please also tell your story and don't be scared that your story is boring just because you only have 2 or 3 years of experience. Tell it. We want to hear it as well. And with this, I invite everybody to reach out to you, to me, to Treasury Masterminds, to seniors which you admire. Connect with them, but also send them a message, ask them a question, and guess what? They will answer. Maybe not all of them. Some of them might be busy. They will answer. They are willing to help, and then they're not scary because they are senior. They might be busy because they are senior. Yes, but you have the risk that they reply to you. So ask them something. You might get it, and if you get it, then you're one step ahead of the rest. That's my biggest advice. I've done that early in my career. I reached out to people and I just asked them if I wanted something. Hey, can you coach me? Can you explain me how you did this? And some of them ghosted me, didn't reply. Fair enough, I understand. And some of them said, thanks for reaching out, Patrick. I appreciate it. I'm happy to talk to you. Let's set up a call. So do that as well. Do that early in your career. Follow the people you like, you love, and reach out to them and talk to them.
On this point, is there a way, because I get a lot of messages from different people. Some of them are juniors, some of them uh, maybe potential business partners, etc. But focusing on the junior people, when they reach out to you or they reach out to any other senior treasurer for advice or potential partnership or whatever, is there a specific way, or what's the best way for you if you're giving advice to a junior guy, sending a DM, reaching out to you? Is there a specific format? Is there a way to format or structure the message to reach you in the most efficient way? Because, like you said, you're a very busy guy, right? So if I'm a junior analyst and I want to reach out to you with something that I need your help in, and maybe I can add value to, what's the quickest way? What's the right way to structure my message?
Maybe don't write a whole book. Be specific and be direct. Hey, Patrick, this is what I'm struggling with. Can I ask you a few questions? These are my questions. Can you help out? Yes, these emails, PBs, direct messages might get buried. And I might even forget replying to them. I have that sometimes. I apologize in advance to those which I forgot. But I do see them, and I always make time for them. I try to make time for them as much as possible. And sometimes that means I just write 5 or 6 sentences back. I had somebody reaching out yesterday. It was one of those people, junior. He said, Patrick, thanks for linking. The reason why I wanted to link was this, and this. And there were 2 questions in it. I answered them. He had follow-up questions. He came back. And yes, sometimes there was a few hours between the messages, but he got his replies. And at the end, he was very appreciative. Patrick, I really appreciate you answering. Not sure why. My time is not more valuable than his time necessarily. So I was willing to help, and I will always will. So structure it in a way that it's clear to me what you're asking from me, and what you want from me, and how can I help you, and then it's easy for me to respond.
Yeah, I cannot agree more. Be on point, be precise. Try to minimize as much as you can the how are you doing, hope all is well. Just go to the point. That's what I would go for. And some of the things that I've seen that really, really frustrates me, some of the people just send hi or hello, and they expect for you to send back and say hi. And then they send with, okay, this is what I need. No, we're not in MySpace or MSN Messenger anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah,
Agree.
be careful of everyone's time. And I'm giving this advice, and you can agree with me or not, but I'm giving this advice not just to juniors, to anyone, even me. When I'm sending a message to Patrick, I'm not going to say, hi, Patrick, and then wait for Patrick to reply, hi, Kortam, and then I start asking what I need to ask. No, just, hi, Patrick, I'm reaching out for you for this, and that, and make it precise, make it quick. What do you
Yes.
think? I believe this is something that I have seen a lot. People sending, hi, I'm just waiting. Right? Just go to the message directly. What do you need?
Yes, and it has to fit your character, you know. We're saying here, just be direct and reach out. We're not saying you have to do this. We're just saying this might work. If you're ambitious, if you want to learn, then this is one method to do it quicker. Because by reaching out to seniors who can turn into mentors, by the way, I also do some sort of mentoring. It's not an invitation for hundreds of people now to ask me to mentor them. Definitely don't have the time for that. We offer that as a service at
I
Pecunia.
can't promise. I can't promise that when people see the episode, but
No, but that's fine. That's fine. If it doesn't fit your character the way you are, don't do it. If it's forced, uh, forced sending people a message, forced being engaging on LinkedIn, it's never going to work. People ask me, I call myself the treasury guru on LinkedIn. It's a bit of a wink there. I post on a daily basis. People tell to me like, "How do you do it?" And I'm like, it just grew on me. I enjoy doing this stuff. If you don't like doing this stuff, if you post on LinkedIn on a daily basis, weekly, whatever, because it's supposed to work, because it's supposed to achieve something. If you don't like it, you're not going to follow through with it. You're going to do it for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and then you're going to quit. And that's okay, because if you don't enjoy the ride, don't ride. I have this nerdy passion for treasury. I read articles at 10 at night sometimes while my wife is watching TV. And then she looks at me like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm reading a treasury article." And she's like, "It's 10 at night." I'm like, "Yes, you're watching Netflix. You're enjoying that. I now at this time enjoy reading a treasury article. I'm that nerdy sometimes. And yes, I also watch Netflix sometimes with my wife. I also enjoy that. But at that time, I made the choice to do that. So follow your passion, follow what you like, find out what works for you, and keep doing that. If you don't like posting on LinkedIn, if you don't like engaging with people, that's fine. Only take the content, read it. That's perfectly fine. I reach out to people sometimes. I talk to treasurers, and then they talk back to me like, "Oh, Patrick, I read this article of you. This, and this. Really interesting." They never engaged on the article. That's not what they do. But on a one-on-one, they did read it. So they did see it. Yes, in this relationship, I was only sending, never getting any feedback, at least not online. I had to talk to them one-on-one. And that's fine as well. It has to fit your character. The average treasurer is a bit, don't want to say introverted, but we are a bit of nerds. We are specialists within the team. We might not be the best networkers. We should be better networkers, because Treasury as an organization, it's never standalone. We deal with cash. Cash is not coming from Treasury, it's coming from sales. We deal with payments, it's coming from procurement, or the payroll department. To build a forecast, cash flow forecast, we need the FP&A team, because they design the budgets. So we are a collaborative department. We need to work together with other departments. We are often forgotten. Oh, Treasury is a very small department, but we are a very important department. I can tell you so many examples where Treasury was involved too late in the organization, where Treasury complains like, "Oh, you should involve me earlier. You should have found me." But I also blame the treasurer a bit, like, "Hey, Treasury, they should have been aware that you are there as well." Yes, you can blame them that they didn't reach out to you, but if this department has treasury issues, procurement, doing contracts in foreign currencies, name all the examples, you should be in contact with them as well. Have a coffee with them, network with them on certain occasions. So it again, even in an organization, in your treasury department, not only in communities, it works the same way. You are the networker. It's a two-way street. You communicate, you receive. And that's why the importance for communities as well. In communities, it's easier, it's more easygoing. But what you do in a community, you can take back and do that in your company as well. You're also a networker in your organization. You're a communicator in your organization, and you have to be in contact with internal stakeholders, external stakeholders. So go out and network.
speaking about communities and networking and building a community. So I have two questions that I want to link them together. So the first question is how or what advice do we give people who are trying to build a network or be part of the community. What are the steps? How can they do that if I'm starting today? And then the other question is, what are the tools that you, as Treasury Masterminds and Patrick, are utilizing to build the community and have the content? And the reason I'm asking these two questions together, because I believe they link together. So yeah, I would leave these two questions to you. You figure out how to answer them.
Yes. Oh, they are great questions. The short answer is it's not easy. It's quite hard work because you have to bring people together. You have to bring people together who are busy, who do it on the side. You have a busy day job. I have a busy day job. And we are still here doing this next to our day job. So first, you need to find the people who share the passion for you, for a community. Then you bring them together in a small community. Of course, decide your goal. Is your goal a small regional community treasurers in Dubai? Then it's a bit easier to arrange that. My goal is a global treasury community where I say, you know what, everybody is welcome. But that will quickly turn into smaller communities, sub-communities as well, because the issues I'm facing in the Netherlands might be different than in Dubai. They're definitely different than in Nigeria and in Argentina. And then secondly, keep the momentum. So once you have this community, you have a kickoff meeting, you create similar goals, but then you need to follow up. What does it mean? You have a monthly meeting, you have a bi-weekly call. How does it work? How do you create the engagement? Do you have a leader who talks all the time and tries to manage the others? Or you just go rogue and let's see what happens. Some treasurers are very communicative. Other treasurers are really like, ask me questions and only then I will answer. So the tools then depend on your goals. If it's the local community treasurers in Dubai, you can have on-site meetings and you just meet. You just rotate companies where you meet each other at the companies you work for. You invite the others. We have a few of those closed door mini communities here as well in Europe. And they work pretty well because they are so small, because they are closed doors. It feels very safe to discuss and share knowledge. Only treasurers are welcome. Even I'm not welcome in some of those because I'm a consultant and I'm an advisor. And I respect that perfectly fine, but I know of their existence. If it turns too big, physical meetings doesn't always work, then I would say go to the conferences and meet people there. Then you have to go online, etc. And again, it depends on the goals which you have. Is the goal only knowledge sharing, brainstorming? Then it can be high over. Pick a topic on every session and go from there. If it's really topical, like if you build a community, FX trading in Dubai, which is very specific, then you only talk about FX trading. Then you basically have deep dive topics about FX trading. Then it might be better to have one moderator picking topics and then organizing the discussion and brainstorming from there. And the question is, what is the goal? Of course, is it brainstorming, finishing a session, and then going back to your work, or is also the goal coming together, brainstorming, with the goal of writing an article, with the goal of producing a webinar, creating a wider knowledge share, maybe even writing a white paper about it. That's more difficult, yes, but that could be a goal as well. I try that at Masterminds. I have people reaching out, they want to brainstorm, and then I tell them, why don't you write an article about it? And you see them like, oh, I've never thought about that. And not all of them do, but some of them, they do. They produce the content and they tell me, but Patrick, I'm not a writer. I'm like, it doesn't matter. I'm not asking you to write a novel and perfectly grammatically correct. It's really about the story you tell and the content of it. The grammar mistakes, nobody cares about them. The build-up of the story, yes, it could be written better by a professional editor, but people will still read your article. They like the content. They like the case study which you describe. And you sharing knowledge with the community. That's really what we want, because I can write 10 articles a week if I would have the time, my board members too, but then it's me sharing, it's you sharing. I want to hear from the local treasurer on the corner tell their story. And we might have never heard that name. It might not go that far, that article. But if we share it via Masterminds or via Mia Treasures, the story will get more reach and you will reach other treasures and they appreciate you for it. So just go out there, write whatever works for you. Some of them like to write, some of them like to speak, be on panels. And again, it comes back to what is your passion, what works for you. Do you want to be on a panel, on a webinar, whatever? Don't wait for the invitation to come. Ask to be invited. Of course, don't beg for it. You might get a no. Yes, okay, it's a no for now. But without asking, you're not even getting that no. You might get a yes as well. So go out there, network, find communities, build your own if you have the passion. I'm happy to support. I think you are happy to support. And collaboration. That's my final thing. Don't see it as a competing community. If you have a community in Dubai via Mia Treasures and I have one in Europe via Masterminds, that doesn't mean we're competing. I could even start a Treasury Masterminds community in Dubai and you have yours with Mia Treasures. Are we competing? No, yes. I would say no. And I would say, that's why I reached out to you. Let's work together. How can we do things together, grow bigger, and find our uniqueness? You're more into podcasting. I'm more into article sharing and knowledge sharing. Yes, we also do podcasts, and that's perfectly fine. The world is big enough for more communities. The world is big enough, even for competitors to be out there. But collaboration is always better than competition, in my opinion.
I agree, and I believe that's why we got connected together and we kicked kicked it off pretty good and right away together because the way that's what I was telling you at the beginning of the discussion is the way I feel the way you think about this is that we complement each other. And this is how I'm approaching Mia Treasures is I try to find every community out there, even if it's not within the Middle East and Africa, to work together, learn from them. This is my key. I want to learn from Patrick as much as I can. And if there is anything that Patrick can learn from me, I'm more than happy to deliver. Same goes with any other community. So I believe that's our core mission. That's what we're trying to do. And to be honest, when I find someone who's out there to try and compete, I don't feel that you guys are doing the right thing. I mean, then what's the point? If you're competing and trying to push everyone to the side, then you're not really building a community. You're
Agree.
building your rugby or or football team. It's not a
Yes.
community, right?
No, no, I
So,
agree. And you can't please everybody anyway, because you have a follower base who like you for what you're doing. I might have a different follower base who's not interested in you or could be interested in you. And then I say, are you interested in more podcasts? Go to me at Treasures. But maybe the next day they want to read an article, then they come back to me. Perfectly fine. It's not or, it's and in my opinion. So no, let's go out there. It's you can't please everybody anyway by saying I'm the only one and the competitor is not better than me. No, the competitor is different. And they have a different audience as well. Please respect that if you don't want to work together. But my door is always open for everybody.
yeah, same. I add my voice to yours. So for anyone who's listening to this episode, watching this episode, reach out to me or Patrick. Same, we're the same. And if what Patrick is doing relevant to you, I will direct you to Patrick and the other way around. And this is what we're trying to build here. And having this episode is to try and concrete or solidify this. Hopefully, people, when they listen to this episode and they watch this episode, they get the essence of the idea behind the building a treasury community. Again, it's like you rightly mentioned, it's not about competing. We're working here together. It's a very niche profession. It's a very small community, which we're trying to make stronger and stronger as it grows. So, yeah, maybe before we close, because we only have a couple of minutes, any last remarks, Patrick, you want to mention? Any advice for the treasurers out there?
Yeah, like I already said, do the thing that fits with you, that fits your purpose, your passion, the goal you want to achieve. Yes, you can listen to me, what worked for me. I have people reaching out, and then I tell my story, and they like the story, but then they conclude, I could never do that. I don't necessarily agree. You can, but you can only do that if your heart is in it, if you're passionate about it. Yes, I work a lot. I work more than 40 hours a week. It doesn't even feel that I work more than 40 hours a week. I really sometimes have to stop myself at night. Okay, now it's enough. Now let me go back to Netflix, because I love too much what I do, so I do too much. But that's fine. So find your passion, find what works for you. If you want something, ask for it. So reach out to me, to whoever your role model is. And of course, if your role model is Arnold Schwarzenegger, it might be harder to reach him. But if you don't try, you will never reach him. He's on LinkedIn, by the way. So connect with him, send him a message if you want to. Why not? It could work. So no, go out there more. Don't expect things to come to you directly. Go chase them. Go get it. That will be my final word.
Awesome. Great. Thanks a lot, Patrick. I really appreciate it. I think it was a really, really insightful discussion. And
I agree.
it puts the ground for, or builds the grounds for the understanding of what such treasury community is, what's the goals, and hopefully we have more and more people like you in the community, in the space of treasury, because this is what helps builds it in the right way. So thanks a lot, man. I really appreciate you, and I appreciate
Thanks.
having you. Thank you, bro.
No, same. And people like you, similar. It goes back to you as well. And yes, thanks for having me. And it was a great chat. I love it.
Thank you. Thanks a lot.